Speaking of big percentage gains, we are just 2 days away now from the Fox News GOP debate in Cleveland, and frontrunner Donald Trump is seeing some big percentage gains. He is promising to be, quote, nice to his fellow GOP candidates, saying he will not be the first to attack. But it sure looked like the gloves were already coming off in this question that he posted to the candidates on Facebook, quote, I'd like to ask all of the candidates, that is, politicians and not really negotiators, people that don't negotiate jobs and lots of other things, how are you going to make America great again? So yet another chapter in this fascinating book. And again, we are early in the cycle. But with us now, Democratic strategist Mary Anne Marsh, along with Patrick Brennan, National Review opinion editor. The big jump that we want to talk about is that the number of GOP voters, Patrick, saying they would back Donald Trump is now doubling. How do you look at that number?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, he has a level of support that no candidate has had this cycle so far. And given the unprecedented number of candidates in the race is really, really shocking. No one expected anyone, let alone Donald Trump, to get to this point. The only issue is that these polls are somewhat unreliable and that they capture a lot of people who aren't planning to vote in the primary someday. They don't do screens for likely voters. They don't ask if you're an Iowan, are you going to go caucus for him? So there can be a bit of a padding there for him.
Okay, that's an important point, I think, to make. But Mary Anne, as you look at this candidate, and again, we're going to hear from them. This is going to be pretty interesting on the Thursday night debate. The latest, not just Fox News polls, but the Wall Street Journal, NBC polls are showing him gaining even more strength. How do you think that he comes off during the debate on Thursday?
I would just say one thing. Fox, I'm not just saying this because I'm on Fox Business, but the Fox News poll and the Wall Street Journal poll you can take to the bank. They are the gold standard. They're always right. They're very accurate. I know the pollsters personally. Take those numbers to the bank. When it comes to Donald Trump on Thursday night, he's the show. People who don't even participate in politics, who may not go to vote, are going to watch this debate because they want to see what's going to happen. And when you look at these poll numbers right now, Liz, as you know, I've said on your show for several weeks now, Donald Trump's the real thing. His latest gains have really come out of Jeb Bush. And when you look at conservatives, 10% of them have left Jeb Bush and largely gone to Donald Trump. So that's an interesting dynamic. When you look at the stage on Thursday night, you have Donald Trump front and center. You have Jeb Bush on one side, Scott Walker on the other. Neither of those two latter individuals had a great performance last night, by the way. Right. And they have a lot to lose on Thursday night if they don't perform.
Okay, let me bring in a real person. And not that you guys aren't, but Keith McCullough is a guest. So didn't mean you're not real people, but not strategists with an agenda. Keith McCullough's a guy from Hedgeye. You know, we have him on the show all the time. He was on this morning on Fox Business. They were talking about the election. Listen to what I don't know Keith's politics, but he's a money guy. He's a business guy. Here's what he said about Donald Trump.
Trump's got to go a little deeper than sound bites. I want to hear something like concrete. I want to see some real leadership, not just performing against mediocrity. I think a lot of what he's been delivered here is the mediocrity of the field.
From a trading aspect, you want actionable ideas from Donald Trump, it sounds like.
Actionable? I mean, I will move back to Canada if he's the president of the United States.
What?
I will.
Dagan said, well, wait a minute. Hold on. Don't move to Canada yet, Keith. But Patrick, that's a real voter right there.
Yeah. I mean, I'll agree with the job creator that this is what I think what people want to see from him is, can he be serious? Can he talk about policies?
What's his idea?
Well, we don't know yet. We don't know. But I think some people are maybe expecting that he'll be serious out there.
And Mary Anne, a little bit of a distraction here when it comes to Hillary Clinton. And I say distraction because I'm wondering if she's distracted, worried so much that she needs to get the female vote. She put out a new ad. It's talking about her mother, Dorothy, and saying that her mother was abandoned by her own parents when she was very young. And it is a very touching story. But right now, the poll numbers are showing it's not resonating at the moment, where people tend to look at Hillary Clinton and wonder, is she really realistic in trying to convince people that she's that person?
So I'd say 2 points to that. This story, and not only is it her life story and why she got involved and why she's always championed children and families, it's what you hear her say in very small settings. So now they've put this ad up. It's only been up since Tuesday, so it hasn't had any real demonstrable effect yet. But it's central to her campaign theme. I think what the common denominator here between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, they're both very well known. They're pretty well defined. They're not defined as how they would be the next president of the United States, but they're really being measured against themselves right now. It's Donald Trump and every everybody else. It's Hillary Clinton and everybody else in the Democratic poll, and Clinton beats every Republican, including Trump. So that's where the race is right now, and that's how they're being measured.
Well, as a business network, we want to hear how they're going to create jobs and how they're going to make this a stronger economy. Great to
Central
have
to
you
this
both.
race.
Very much so.
Thank you.
Yes, Mary Anne Marsh, great to see you. Patrick Brennan, join us again, National Review opinion editor. It's great to have you both.